Hello there. Can you hear me?
Dennis, hello.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
It's going good.
Good to see you.
I don't see you. I see.
Oh, all right. Let me see if I can remedy that. Okay. It always takes a little bit of reorientation.
Called Zoomitis. It's Zoom is crazy.
Is that better? Here we go.
Eh.
Got
But
it?
yes, I think the Smithereens sold out last time in Boston.
I think we did.
Yeah, because John Lappin got back to me and said like it's completely sold out. It's like wow, good.
Well, you helped.
Well, thank you. We try. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a fun show here, and today's guests were John Poussette Dart, the Poussette Dart Band,
Uh-huh.
Tom Rush. I just talked to Tom again.
Wow. How about that?
It's about my fourth or fifth interview with Tom, and it's really funny, Dennis, how these interviews, um, they just have a life of their own. They kind of like, okay, we talked about this last time. We go into different areas, and I like that
Hmm.
because I like know, what are the Smithereens doing on the road? What is new, different, and exciting, and what you expect, and
Hmm.
um, talking to you guys and getting a different perspective, it helps the show and it helps the listeners who are big fans.
Hmm.
And then, the um, guy from Foreigner, Alan from Foreigner, is a friend of John Lappin's.
Hmm.
So I had him on the show, and now all of a sudden, Lou Graham is going to reunite with the band.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
And the lead singer, who's been with them now, the second singer is not happy about it, but it's online. And it's like, well, good for Lou. It's like,
Yeah.
Uh, so it's exciting. What is the band doing like right now? Have you recorded anything new?
It's been a pretty slow year so far, I got to say. We're revving up and we're heading out this week. We're going to California for 3 days. We're playing San Diego. We haven't played San Diego in a number of years. And then we're going back to our old haunt, the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano, which is a venue that we've been playing since our first tour. It's really a club that we enjoy going back to. We always have an amazing audience there. And then we're playing the Canyon Club in Agora Hills, about 40 minutes north of Los Angeles. So no, to answer your question, that didn't really answer your question. We haven't recorded yet this year, but we will be. We recorded some tracks last year, but we're going to be going back probably in June to work on new material because we got some other activity coming up that's going to keep us pretty busy for a good chunk of the spring. So
Are you going to have different lead singers? Marshall Crenshaw.
on the record, we intend to,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
live shows.
I'm sorry.
The live shows.
Oh, on these shows, it's John Cowsill of the Cowsills will be singing with us.
Wow.
Yeah, he's done a few shows with us, and you probably know that the Cowsills sang on our Blow Up album on a song that Jimmy wrote called Now and Then. So we've had a friendship with them going back to 1991, and we grew up being huge fans of their records and just loving that genetic blend that you only get when families sing together. You know, the Everly Brothers, the Beach Boys, the who was I just thinking of? uh, well, there's tons of them, uh, the Bee Gees. It's just a certain sound that you can only be achieved when there's blood brothers and sisters singing together. So anyway, John is he's a great drummer. He played with the Beach Boys for quite a few years on drums, up until about 2, 3 years ago. And then he could play anything, but he's a good front man too. So we're looking forward to that.
I knew Barry Cowsill um, and his ex-wife, who's still a friend of mine. So we were recording. I used to manage Jimmy Miller, the Stones producer.
Oh yeah.
So we recorded at Normandy because Phil Green um, just adored Jimmy. Phil Green did Beaver Brown and New Kids on the Block.
Hmm.
He was a guitarist in a band called Swallow on Warner Brothers.
Hmm.
So Phil walked up to me in a nightclub and said, "I love Jimmy Miller. I'll give you 9 free hours. I had a blast. I felt like Mick Jagger because we wrote the song in the studio and recorded because we had 9 free hours, right?
Great.
But Barry would be around Normandy in Warren, Rhode Island.
Hmm.
House Hills, that Artie Kornfeld, right? The guy who did Woodstock,
Hmm.
the Rain Park, and other things.
Yeah.
That is such a magnificent production.
Oh, isn't it though? And it's a great, I think he also wrote or co-wrote that song. Uh, but that is the arrangement is killer on it. And it's just one of those slices of what I guess what they call sunshine pop that is irresistible. And you can't help but just get a little lift if you're having a bad day and that song comes on. It really does help you get through the day, you know.
So if I go to a Smithereens show and all of a sudden you do the Rain, the Park, and other things, I get to blow my mind.
You know, we tend not to do the material of the singers who are working with us, but that would be novel, wouldn't it?
It would be that would be like Deep Purple playing Hush, which they do,
Mm,
but they'd given it up for so long. The Joe South song was their first hit,
yeah,
but it was a different band.
yeah.
But Ian Gillan does Hush, and it's just great
Hmm.
because, like you said, it gives you that lift.
Hmm.
It's one of those songs where I think Smithereens could get away with it because it'd blow minds.
You know what? I'm going to run that up the flagpole. We might
Thank
just.
you. Thank you. I'd love to see it on YouTube. It's just a very special song.
It
And
is.
um, so, is John Cowsill going to be doing that West Coast tour?
Yes, and he'll be with us in Natick as well.
Oh, at T-Can.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that place should sell out again for you guys.
That's a cool venue, man.
I saw Vanilla Fudge there.
Did you?
Yeah. And the left bank.
Uh-huh.
What's left of the left bank, and Brown's gone. But
Yeah.
and so T-Can is I mean, I don't like to drink alcohol. It's just not my thing. I like coffee, and the T-Can got coffee and brownies, and I'm
Hmm.
happy watching my favorite bands while I'm having those delicacies. And that's a great thing for your fans to know that, like, you can go to T-Can and just like it's like a coffee shop.
Yeah. Well, it's cozy and it does have that vibe. And we never had a bad show there. I've played there with Dave Davies too, and maybe I'm trying to remember if I played there with Ronnie Spector. I'm not sure, but anytime I've been there, it's been a lot of fun, just a lot of fun. Plus, in Natick, uh, do you know the town at all?
Oh, of course. I've
So
been here all my life.
do you know? Oh, do you live in Natick?
No, I live in Everett,
Okay.
which is where the casino is.
Do you know a place in Natick called Casey's?
Nope.
Oh man, this place has probably been there since the 20s or 30s. It's like a breakfast joint, but they serve burgers, really good burgers, and pie and coffee and a few other things. And it's a really, really interesting place. And we look forward to going there when we hit town. So if you get a chance, check out Casey's. I think they're only open for breakfast and lunch. It's a tiny little place. It really feels like it's well, I think it is there since at least the 30s, maybe the 20s. Anyway,
Were you on a bill with Dave Davies or did you play with him?
I was in his band.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah,
love Dave. Yeah.
for 3 or 4 tours, and yeah, that was a dream come true. And the Smithereens got a chance to play with Dave and Ray in 1991 at Boston Garden. I don't know if
Oh,
we talked about this before, but we were on the road on our blow up tour, and we were scheduled to play this benefit show at the Garden, Boston Garden, sponsored by um, WBCN, and uh, we heard there was going to be other artists on the bill, and we got word that Ray and Dave were performing without a band. They were promoting the Phobia LP at the time. So when we heard they didn't have a band, we said, "Hey, by the way, if they would like to have some backing, we're available." And it worked out. We did an encore with them, and brought the house down. Literally, it was the place was shaking, and it was all the rage in the press in Boston, and touted as one of the best shows of that year. It was a real real great moment for us. We grew up loving their music and learning so much from their records, you know.
Oh, two of the gods of rock.
Yeah.
Dave's been on the show.
Mm,
Haven't got Ray yet, but I mean, the Kinks. I remember being in college and I had like front row at the Orpheum, and Dave Davies came out and Ray Davies came out and splashed water on. I mean, milk. It was just great. And then the engineer Stuart Dawson had like these speakers with like 1 inch or 2 inch Radio Shack speakers, hundreds of them, and it was a really unique sound. You could you could hear the whole crystal clear. You could hear the
mm,
Kinks. It was just, but that's college days. It was half a century ago.
yeah.
But they were so good. I mean, seeing those bands back in the day, um, the Kinks, Lou Reed, and Procol Harum, all these bands. Literally, I walked down from my college and there's the Orpheum.
Hmm.
Have you played the Orpheum?
We have, yeah.
Nice, intimate venue.
Yeah, it's still going, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we played the Orpheum. Matter of fact, Mike Mazaris, our bass player, and I saw the Kinks at the Orpheum in 1975. Uh, we followed them around the East Coast when they were playing. So, yeah, we even saw the Kinks at the Orpheum. But it was a great thrill to play there. I think we played there twice. Um, yeah, no, Boston's always been an exciting stop for us. Always very energetic crowds. Real good time for the Smithereens when we play Boston.
So does Marshall Crenshaw factor in the future tour? Right now it's John Cowsill.
Hmm. Oh, I think so. He's got his own shows that he's doing
Ah,
currently. So he wasn't available, and John was, and so there you go. Simple as that.
and the fascinating thing, because fans of the Cowsills and fans of the Smithereens, it's like you don't think of a pop artist being in with the Smithereens. I mean, a
Hmm.
pop, commercial um, family band. It's just that's great that he's doing that.
Well, he's versatile, and our music spans a lot of different genres. We always love harmony-driven music and catchy tunes, and it it works. It's more of a finding when we're looking for people to work with us. It's more about the personalities meshing, and because that's a big part of doing this. When younger people ask me, "Can you give me any advice?" I want to go into music. What should I do? I said, find people you like to play with, but more importantly, find people. Those same people should be folks you like to hang out with because you're going to be doing an awful lot of that, in buses and trains and planes and restaurants and backstages. So that goes a long, long way in terms of longevity for the band and your sanity, your creativity, I think. So,
Now, see, you're being encouraging and positive. The late George Skabitas at Warner Brothers Records,
mhm.
great guy, and he was at a convention with us, and a mother comes up to him and says, "What should my son do to be in the music business?" He said, "Don't." He was
Well,
afraid.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to look at it,
There is.
and that's one of them.
Now,
You do have to be prepared to navigate the waters, let's say. Oh,
very strange business.
yeah.
Um, when was the last live album from the Smithereens?
Oh, gee, I don't know what the year was. Probably early. What do they call them? Aughts, the aughts, early the 2000s. Somewhere around 07, 08, 09, something like that. We recorded an album at our old haunt, the Court Tavern in New Brunswick, which was kind of like our cavern club. It was a subterranean venue, and it got packed pretty tight and hot and sweaty. And we cut our teeth there back in the early '80s, and we went back to record a live record there. Came out good energy on that one.
Because as someone who appreciates your music, the three different lead singers would lend itself to a beautiful live album these days.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Uh,
different perspective on the music,
Hmm.
and
That's an
maybe
interesting thought.
yeah,
Hmm.
I got nothing better to do. I come up with these ideas.
Good
You
man
know.
to have around.
Well, here's an interesting thing. There's a radio station in Boston, WJIB, and John H. Garabedian. You know the name? John
No.
Garabedian is a radio legend. He discovered Maggie May. He flipped it over. Mercury Records was very upset, but it launched Rod Stewart big time. And then "You Light Up My Life," the Debbie Boone tune. He was the
Hmm.
first jock in the country, I guess, to go on it. Got all Boston playing it. So he purchased WJIB from my friend Bob Bittner. Bob died last April. And I was one of the few guys that was a DJ on the air 25 years ago.
Mm.
I did a Lou Reed interview we did there. So what John is doing, and your fans should know this, they can call the station and they could say, I want to hear the Smithereens. Um, and they're coming to town and they can leave a message. And he usually is very good about playing requests.
Oh, wow.
But here's the really good news. The station was on 740 and reached 740 AM, 101.3 FM. It reached a smaller audience until last week. It went to 720 and it's got, and I get 50,000 watts or something.
Hmm.
So it's, so the thing is, you're playing Natick, it gets heard in Natick. And, and even if he doesn't play the record but mentions the show, it's still a plus,
Sure.
But he's really good. And they have a fan page, WJIB Friends and Lovers. There's about 1,000 people on it, 950, something like that. And they all talk about shows coming up and stuff.
Hmm.
It's just a little, because there's no station like that in America. He's
Hmm.
playing all sorts of stuff
Hmm.
and he's got a fan base. And it's just, he launched Maggie May. So it's old style radio that he bought the station and he's doing it. But people don't know. I'm letting all the acts I talked to today know that John H is the man.
That sounds cool. Do they stream?
Yeah, they're streaming. They're on Alexa.
Okay.
They're on Alexa. They're streaming. Um, but he'll play Frank Sinatra. He'll play music from the 30s and 40s and the Bee Gees. And it just goes the gamut. And so at my age, it's like I'm driving around. It's like, okay, I'm not really into that, but it's really educating me. And then one of my favorite songs comes on. So you stay because you're going to hear the music you love,
Yeah.
you know. But again, I'm really happy that T-Can sold out last time.
Yeah. People like us. What can I say?
No, so I mean, you don't have to do this extensive promotion
Yeah.
coming to see you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful thing. I always say this, and I mean it sincerely, and because it's true. We could never have lasted. You know, March this month marked our 45th anniversary. If you could believe that,
I wouldn't
we,
have guessed it.
we've been
Wow.
to 45 years. We could never have lasted this long if it wasn't for the loyalty and the support and the love from our audience. As simple as that. We can go out and play in the park or play in our basements, but without the audience, we couldn't go out and play venues and have a career. So it's gratifying that our music is touching the hearts of people. That's we grew up as fans. I'm sure you did too. You grew up loving the radio and records and watching American Bandstand and everything, just loving the music. So to be on the other side of things and have a career doing this it's really cool. I always say this in our shows because Jimmy and I started playing together in high school, and we knew that we were going to be in a band together for the rest of our lives. We just knew it because we knew that there was nothing cooler or more fun that we can do than to be in a band together. It's we grew up just taking cues from the groups that we loved and the records we dug, and I still listen to music for inspiration and to make me feel good or bad. Sometimes you want to feel a certain emotion that's maybe not happy, or just a certain kind of passion in a piece of music that makes you feel a lot of different ways. Anyway, I think you know what I'm talking about.
When Martha Hoople reunited, they all of a sudden the full concerts were showing up on YouTube. So the fans were doing like the whole, and I love it. And it's like, oh wow, I can find a 2 camera shoot of Martha Hoople and make my own video, right? So have you seen those kind of things with Smithereens, where there's your concerts are all at least documented by maybe one song from tour from date to date?
There's a lot of stuff out there. I haven't really uh, chronicled it very closely, but there's a lot of great memories out there of shows we've done, TV shows and live shows and interviews. It's amazing what's captured and what has lasted and what gets put out there. It's you could really dive in a lot of rabbit holes on YouTube, and it's what I like to do before I drift off to sleep. I'll watch something on YouTube and just to put my world right. Usually, I've been on a kick of watching old episodes of What's My Line, which I love. It's a show young people may not know about, but it was very popular in the 50s and 60s.
Dare I even tell you, I don't know how I get into this, but I'm watching Jerry Springer. And it's like, it's so stupid. And I'm like, this is junk food TV.
Mm,
But I love how Springer is a great host.
mm,
And I think that's the thing that attracts me to it. And it's like, I don't want to watch these people, but he's so slick. He's so
mm,
good. So, like these old shows, I find a fascination with them.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I mean that's a real talent to be able to host a show or to any number. There's so many different talents. Everybody's got some talent, but
right.
when you witness somebody that has something you don't, you just think, how do they do that, right? Like, how do they keep it rolling? How do they make it seem like they're so interested in? And it's just it's I
Well,
marvel at that kind of stuff.
he was a mayor and he was a judge. And it's like, all right, you got this slapstick comedy show, but he was so funny. He's the guy that I focus on because he comes up with lines that I couldn't come up with. It's like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. What am I doing watching this? This is so far below what I do, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so back to my YouTube thing. Yeah, you have a chronicle of Smithereens, and maybe there's full concerts out there too. Who knows?
Mm,
Um, some bands are taking audience tapes and making DVDs, legitimate DVDs,
mm,
and you can have like Smithereens, the years, you know, 2004 to 2019, and you get all this stuff. I was talking to Ian Anderson about it, and he hates it. I said, "Do you like it when the people tape your shows?" No, right?
mm-hmm.
So I go to the concert that night, and he hits Aqualung. Had to be 100 phones up, taping Aqualung. It's like it's useless. They're gonna tape you.
Yeah, can't stop it. And really, I think in the long run, it's promotion for the act.
It is.
It's you know,
If the act is great, it should be documented.
and especially this day and age where the digital age, everything's out there. You're not going to be able to stop it, and just roll with it and enjoy the promotion. That's probably the best way to go about it. Not get upset about it. I could understand, like I think Bob Dylan. Does he have people check their iPhones at the concerts? I know he prohibits iPhone use. I don't mind if people want to do it, but to me, I'd rather be in the moment and enjoy the show rather than capture it. Uh, if it's an artist that I really like, I don't know. To each his own.
Right. You got a diverse audience, and some people want to do that. Some people want to watch. And
Hmm.
if they're paying for a concert ticket, let them have their choice.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And again, like I said, the good news is that the Smithereens get documented.
Right.
If you want to write a book, it's like, okay, I can go on YouTube and remember this moment.
It's really true. It's amazing what on Google or any platform that you choose that you can go and just find information. Like if I think, okay, I know we played this city in this year. somehow I could find more pointed information about it. It's just we didn't have these tools when we were younger, you know.
No, when I write a review, say of the Smithereens, I'm constantly in Google instead of using memory.
Hmm.
And it makes it so much more efficient because, oh, there's the date and there's a proper spelling of the name. And, you might know the proper spelling of the name and you forget because
Yeah.
you're just writing too much. I do Substack now.
Hmm.
And it took me 2 years. And I'm like, I'm having fun taking a lot of my old reviews and reposting them on another platform. And it's really fun. It's a great place for a Smithereens diary
Hmm.
because you don't have to spend, you could spend an hour on it, you could spend 5 minutes just do an update.
Yeah.
I've just gotten so used to Substack. It's better than blogging or even my own website. So, because I have to think of these things when Lappin sends me something to review, you know, and the internet, again, the information's there.
Yeah.
There must be a lot of stuff like the Grateful Dead are on at archive.org. So I
I'm
don't,
sorry.
there's an
Oh,
archive.org.
oh, okay.
A lot of Grateful Dead concerts, of course, because they let the audience concerts go. They don't let soundboards out.
Hmm.
So on archive.org, it goes up there, and I don't even have time to check it because I'm checking YouTube, but there must be a lot of smithereens up there too.
I'll have to look for that.
Yeah,
What's it?
archive.org.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
been around a long time, and they have
Hmm.
a video end of it, and they have a video thing, but it's mostly you can get text, and what it does is it scours the web and it takes pictures, but the fans do put stuff up on their own.
Hmm.
So it's two things. It scours the web to kind of document the internet. Doesn't do a very good job, but there's billions of information up there, pieces of information. But the fans put up Grateful Dead concerts,
Hmm.
and I'm not a Deadhead, but like they're doing all these Stones songs. Well, let me make a Grateful Dead of the Stones that
Yeah.
you could listen to, right?
Yeah.
And they do
Well,
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So there's fun stuff.
well, the Dead, I guess, right? They were one of the first bands to champion their fans
Taping.
recording their shows. You know, didn't hurt them. I don't think.
Hmm?
Yeah, I don't think that hurt them having
No,
the fans.
that helped create the phenomenon.
Yeah, it was part of the lifestyle. You know,
Is people were trading them.
yeah,
Yeah.
became a real big part of the lifestyle.
Now,
So, you know,
I'm not a Dead fan, but I'm a Janis Joplin fan. And this
mhm.
is Janis Joplin with the Dead. So I have to have this tape.
Oh, she performed with them.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times.
Really? Didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah. So you can find that. You can find that on YouTube, I'm sure. But
hmm.
back in the day, it was like I have to have that tape. You had to trade for it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's
That's
out.
the that was the thing back then. You couldn't just pick up your tablet or your phone and press a few buttons and the world is at your command. You had to work at it. You know, I always said we used to yeah, you correspond with people and do tape trades, or you go to flea markets early in the morning and
Yeah.
dig through stuff to find rare records, or
Right.
garage sales or import stores. Back then, you really had to go to specific locations to find these things. It was part of the fun of it, really. Especially if you had friends that were into it. It was a social thing. I remember those days really fondly.
Well, see, I'm on a mission for acetates.
Hmm.
And there's an acetate of Bobby Hebb doing Sunny with Ben Tucker on bass and Bernard Purdy on drums.
Hmm.
So Bernard told me it was a hit the minute we taped it. So poor Ben Tucker, he was Peggy Lee's bassist too, as well as Bobby's. He's in a golf cart and gets hit by a speeding car and dies.
Oh man.
So I'm producer for the Bobby Hebb estate. I
Right.
do his legacy. So Eric was going to send me down to the Tucker house to go through unmarked tapes to get the tape of that Sunny. It never happened, but I know there's like 100 acetates out there. So now it's like you're talking about fun. Well, for me, it's work, but I got to find that original Sunny because once Bobby hit with it, that was the demo. Oh,
Hmm.
you know, but the acetate got forgotten, and it's very precious, and I
Mm,
must have it.
mm,
So
yeah,
yeah, this stuff is fun. Um, but the Joplin thing was like, oh, you got to have that tape, you got to trade for it, and now it's you can get smithereens on a la carte.
yeah. So Purdy was the drummer on Sonny on the record.
No, Purdy was the drummer on the demo,
Mm-hmm.
but Purdy's played with everyone. So I called Bobby up. Purdy was at Cambridge House of Blues before it went to Boston. So Bobby and I went in and saw Bernard because Bernard was an old friend of mine from the Jimmy Miller days, but he was an old friend of Bobby's from the Bobby Hebb days. But we both knew him. So we went to see Bernard. They run off to New York and cut a brilliant album,
Mm-hmm.
which I've got on the box set, never released.
Hmm.
Bobby only had 3 albums released
Hmm.
with 2 Grammy winning songs and 3 albums. It's kind of crazy, right?
Was the other one Satisfied Mind? What was the other Grammy winner?
Satisfied Mind was the second song off the first album, which was a mistake because Porter Wagoner hit #1, Bobby
Mm,
had Country Roots, but they wanted to put Love Me out, which sounded like Sonny.
mm-hmm.
Kenny Gamble, Gamble and Huff,
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Ross was the producer. Kenny Gamble was in his stable with Leon Huff, and they cut Love Me, which sounded like Sonny, and they wanted Bobby to do that, and they wanted Bobby to do Apples, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie.
Ah,
Jay and the Techniques.
yeah, yeah.
Bobby said, "I will not do um, a uh, a novelty tune."
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's in the Uni Vaults. Bobby's instrumental that he was supposed to sing on it. So before he died, I said, "Will you sing on this for me?" He said, "Yes."
Huh.
But then we lost him.
Mm.
Committed to me to sing Apples, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie.
Yeah,
Ross picked up Jay and the Techniques, and the rest is history. Jay had
yeah,
a whole career
yeah.
from that. But see, Jerry Ross knew hits, and he knew Bobby would have a second hit. Satisfied Mind hit 39 in the top 40, but they didn't want country from Bobby. They wanted, he toured with the Beatles,
Yeah.
and he toured with my next guest, the Yardbirds.
Oh, cool.
So the Beatles tour ended, and then he picked up with the Yardbirds and Dick Clark. And here I
Hmm.
am talking to you about stuff, not smithereens, but
That's okay.
it's fun stuff.
It's great.
The acetate of Sonny, I need it for,
So
you know,
who was the drummer on the hit version then?
um,
Was it
I don't know.
Herb Lavelle?
I don't know. Jerry Ross could have told me, but he's gone out too.
Okay.
Jerry died on Janis Joplin's anniversary, October 4th.
Hmm.
Jerry was a good friend. These producers can tell us so much. He did
Yeah.
Mickey and Our Gang and Jerry Butler and just amazing records that came out of Mercury that Jerry was the in-house producer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's your favorite? I don't want to ask that. What's a great production that you guys did that you're really happy with the producer?
Um, well, I always go back to our first album. We really loved working with Don Dixon on, especially for you. Um, 5 of the tracks on that album we actually recorded before we had a record deal, and we didn't self-produce the finished product, but we did self-produce the original tracks of Blood and Roses, Behind Them All Asleep, and 3 other songs on Especially for You. Uh, but that's I still think that first album is my favorite. I think we made a lot of other good LPs and good music, but that first album just had a freshness to it, and I guess I associate a lot of good memories with it. And I think it was a good production. I think all of our albums were produced pretty well, quite actually. But I always go back to that first album.
What was it like working with Don?
Don is very organic. He when when he recognizes that an artist has what it takes to make music by doing what they do and being themselves, he lets you do that, and he'll help with the arrangements and help with the technical side of things and help with the overall vision of how things are going to turn out. But he is he recognizes the strengths of the artist and encourages them to run with those strengths. Works out great.
Very cool.
Hmm.
So the date again at TCAN is.
Oh, I have to look it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blindside you.
Oh man, I should know. It's like in 2 weeks, I think.
It's coming up quick.
I could look it up.
That's okay. I like the paintings behind you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this one we got at a garage sale. This one my cousin Bobby painted. I can't see the other ones, but thanks, man. Let me get that date for
You have
the
paintings
list.
all around the room, more than those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff in here. My wife is a designer, so
Ah,
she she has a good eye. Let's see. That show is on Friday, April 11th.
wow, nice.
Hmm.
April 11th. It's
Yeah.
coming up like 90 miles an hour at us.
Yeah, right? Man.
Yeah, tomorrow's April Fool's Day.
Well, that's right. It is. Gee whiz.
Yeah.
This year is flying by, man.
I mean, it's already 3 months gone. Again, I can't believe that. But
Yeah.
we're, I don't want to keep you on the hot seat, but where the Smithereens going to be playing like later in the year?
Oh, we have a bunch of dates that were given to us. We're going to be in the Midwest. Oh boy, that's coming up. They can People can get all the information at officialsmithereens.com. I know
Officialsmithereens.com.
yeah, officialsmithereens.com. We're going to the Midwest. We're going to Nashville, Skokie, Detroit, Nashville. Oh boy, I
I
can't
take my
remember
hat off.
offhand.
I take my hat off to you because I just can't do that. That's just
Yeah,
so much work.
well, it's the travel is the work. The playing the gigs are that's fun, but the travel is a lot of times. There's an old well, I've heard the saying and the old saying that musicians don't get paid for playing; they get paid for traveling, and I look at it that way.
Yeah, planes and hotels and cabs and
Hmm.
well, Dennis, this has been a pleasure. You've been a marvelous guest as usual. And
Thank you. It's always good to see you, Joe. Always good. And
thanks.
we'll keep it going, and appreciate you and our audience being there for us. Thank you so much.
All right, man. You have a great gig and great day.
All
Thanks.
right, you too. Bye bye.